So we're going to be talking about March 16th to March 22nd. We have some interesting transits. So just a overview of what we're going to be looking at. On Tuesday, March 17th, Mercury retrograde is going to be conjunct the North Node. Wednesday, March 18th, Venus is squared Jupiter. The Sun is sextile Uranus. And then we have a new moon in Pisces. Big day. On Friday, March 20th, the Sun enters Aries, aka the start of the Astrological New Year, aka Ostara, aka Spring Equinox. Also, Mercury stations direct. On Saturday, March 21st, Mars trines Jupiter. And then Sunday, March 22nd, the Sun is conjunct Neptune. Okay. So that's what's coming up. So again, for my new folks, let me show you guys what we're doing. Let's jump here. For heck's sake, come on, ticky-tock. There we go. Yeah, right? What a weekend. What a weekend indeed. Yeah, there's like... just this week in general. So for those of you who are joining for the first time, you'll just see we got a lot going down here. And I know that people have been joining me the previous weeks and everything like that. You guys know we're freaking in it, y'all. Thanks for the follow. We're in it. I keep hearing a sound and it's gonna, my autism is like, what is that? Oh, I think it's my heater. Guys, I get real irritated at little sounds. Shout out to the luteal phase. Everything can piss me off at any moment right now. Okay, so we're in it in a good way or a bad way. It just depends on your perspective. It can be good if you see it as good. It can be bad as if you see it as bad. That's how I always talk about transits, is it's always an opportunity for growth, no matter what. You get to choose. You get to choose. That's, yeah. And I know that might piss some people off and I'm okay with that, but that's the reality of astrology. Like some transits will have a lot of tension and some transits will feel a little more smooth, but they're all ultimately for our highest good. Okay, so as you can see, we have a lot of planets in Pisces, a lot of planets in Aries, just from a visual aspect. And if you're new, ooh, sorry, I hit the mic, guys, your poor little baby ears. For those of you who are new to astrology, this may feel like foreign language or not easily digestible, but that is why I'm here, because my how can you make a chart of your birth like on paper, like doing all the math? Thanks for the follow, Jill. You would have to know all the math to do it. So yeah, astrologers used to calculate all of this, right? I'm blessed. Maybe I would be way better at math if I was actually manually creating charts. Your Pisces Sun, Aries Venus, baby girl, it's your season. You're in it. You're like, oh my gosh. Welcome, you guys. So, Enneagram, but your chart making a shape of some sort? Are you talking about like human design? Well, this is the chart. Yeah, I'm not sure. Gemini Sun, Libra Moon, Virgo Rising, head hurts. It's wild. You have a lot of trines. Heck yeah. Okay, so just kind of tuning back in here. So, lots of Pisces stuff, lots of Aries stuff. I'm reiterating that because of the fact that this is kind of a similar thing that we went through last year around this time. Last year was not as intense, but we're like, the best way that I've been describing the energy presently is it's very akin to like giving birth. So, which is so fun. I have no idea. I've never given birth, but I know quite a few people who have. So from what I heard, it's pretty interesting. Shout out to our moms. Whoa, we got all the Geminis in the chat. Let's go. We got a lot of Mercurial people, which makes sense. I am also a Virgo rising, so I feel like I've been holding back. Oh, hit the mic with my knee. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta get all comfy. This is like, just for context for my friends that are new here, with all this Pisces energy and all this Aries energy, Aries is the first sign, Pisces is the 12th, so this is death into birth. So if that gives you any context of what we're going through, it's literally a metamorphosis process that we're moving through. And so all of this Pisces energy is being put through the energetic portal and being rebirthed into Aries, but it's almost like one at a time. I kind of explained it in my community. So if you guys aren't in my Discord community, come join. It's all linked in my bio. It's like giving birth to triplets because of all the personal planets, but we do have the luminaries, which are the sun and the moon. Okay, so specifically on Tuesday, the 17th, which is St. Patrick's Day, by the way, Mercury retrograde is conjunct the North Node. It's the autumn equinox for you. So it's an equinox in general. Interesting. Awesome. So diving a little bit deeper into this. This is a very similar energy to when we had Mars conjunct the North Node just a few days ago when I'm filming this. And the North Node and this retrograde Mercury in Pisces feels so tender. Thanks for the follow. It feels like I'm literally just sitting here. Mercury in Pisces, again, context, I'm ruled by Mercury. So this Mercury retrograde in Pisces has been a little disarming for me in a good way. It's also helped me dive a little bit deeper into my gifts with channeling. And thanks for the follow. This is just going to be a very auspicious day, you guys. An auspicious day for sure. Because Mercury retrograde, context for you guys who are new, when Mercury is moving retrograde, it really pulls the mental chatter inwards, less external. And in Pisces, it deepens it tenfold. It's like truly tapping into the unconscious waters of the collective emotional frequency. It's very, very, very tender. And then to explain the North Node in Pisces has been really pulling us on this storyline over the last almost 2 years now of letting go and letting God. And truly like stepping into surrendering the perfectionism, surrendering the day-to-day rat race of trying to keep your life perfect and maintained and following all the structures and what you think that you need to do, into following what you feel is best. It's truly the energy of following the heart. And thank you guys again so much for liking and sharing the live. You guys are so sweet. And I see those gifts too. Thank you. When these two come together, I really feel this is going to open up a deeper part of a hidden dream, a hidden sort of desire, or thank you guys. I need to turn my sounds off because they're so distracting, but I love them too because it does bring me back to reality in a good way. These two coming together is really like, I mean, thank you guys. I kind of see it as like this opening of a part of our psyche that's been locked away, a part of you that has felt like, thank you, Healing Witch, you're so sweet. I might turn those off for now, because it's so freaking funny, but it's also so distracting in a beautiful way. We'll see if I can. It's a pretty fun sound, right? Let's do this. Let's turn that down and turn that down. Apply. Cool. I think I got those. There we go. Yeah, boy. It's so freaking funny though, right? It's funny. It is. How did I get my sound set up like that, Michelle? Is that what you're asking? Hi, Mystic. Welcome. So to kind of deepen back, yes. So I'm streaming from my computer. That's how I'm streaming all this. So if you use TikTok Live Studio, they have alerts that you can add in, and you just need to find custom sounds that you like. So you're having a good time. I do appreciate it though. Thanks for the follow. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so back to Tuesday. I know, I feel like, I mean, I've been talking for a long time, but I kind of knew my verbal processing would be a lot slower today, just based off of where I'm at in my cycle. This North Node and Mercury conjunction really, I'm like, how do I explain this? Because when we pull in this Piscean energy, it really drops us into a state of deepened surrender. And I almost feel like this feels like the most quiet part of your mind, right? That state that you get in meditation where your thoughts stop. And it really taps into like a broader spectrum of gnosis. That's what this feels like. It really feels like this broad, like this really beautiful energy of opening yourself and your subconscious mind to understanding a greater version of yourself. This also feels like an opportunity to pull in deeper downloads if you do choose to sit in like meditation. It feels like a quieting of the mind in such a great, beautiful way. Like it really is this like like permission slip of releasing the old stories in your mind, again, because Mercury's about to station direct. So Mercury is going to kind of be hanging out here on the North Node for a little bit, which I feel is really going to grant us a deeper permission around letting go of old storylines, letting go of the things that no longer actually serve our greater soul's desire. And when we're talking about Piscean energy and the North Node in Pisces, it's really pulling in like your soul's deepest mission. And I always invite you guys to look at your own natal chart to see which house is Pisces for you guys, because it's going to be deeply unique based off of your own natal chart and what this storyline is pointing you in. If you guys are subscribed to my newsletter, I dive a little bit deeper into that for you personally, because I understand like it's really nice to have that personalization. So definitely subscribe through the link in my bio. That's like the best way you guys can support me. That's my little passion project. Yeah. So figuring out your houses, you just need to pull up your natal chart. And you can see these numbers right here. Just tell you the houses. So you're going through your nodal opposition. Yeah, it's a good grand old time for that, for all of us. I'm like, what more wants to come through with this North Node and Mercury conjunction? Because it really is just like, there's not really words for it. It's just like a deepened spiritual connection to your communication. This may sound very strange for some people, but the feminine expression, aka water or earth signs, when Mercury's in water or earth signs, it's more womb based knowledge. Now you don't have to have a womb to relate to that. It's creation and a feminine expression, which is more intuitively based versus the more masculine expression of Mercury, which would be in air or fire signs, which is more cerebral, right? Logic, intellect. So What is this game? It is not a game. It is a snapshot of the sky. We're looking at March 17th. Not a game, real life. We're giving a little bit of an energetic forecast, but feel free to look at my page to kind of get a deeper dive. But you might have ended up on the wrong side of TikTok, my boy. I don't know if you're supposed to be here, but you ended up here, so maybe you should be here. Yeah, I know. I was like, maybe you're meant to be here. I am a retired gamer, so I think that's really funny that you ended up here. So let's go ahead and jump forward and take a peek at the 18th, because we got a lot going on. And I do want you guys, again, to take note that this is going to stay for a bit. Now, on the 18th, Venus is squaring Jupiter. So Venus is in Aries, 15 degrees. Jupiter's finally direct in Cancer. I might choose a different color. That's hard to tell. So we got a square happening here. So that's 90 degrees. And then we also have a new moon in Pisces happening on that day. And additionally, the sun and the moon are going to be sextiling Uranus at this time too. So I talked about this. I have a full video on my YouTube channel breaking down this new moon, just for context sake. Like, I go deep into it. I'm not going to go that deep into it during this live. So if you guys want to check it out, it is on my YouTube channel. Astrology is a lot of information. It's like an onion, guys. Layers. I've been studying astrology for 11 years. So it's a devoted craft. My Mercury is in Aries. So I got a sharp fucking tongue. Okay, so let's talk about Venus in Aries, making this not trine. This is definitely not a trine. This is a square. The square to Jupiter. Okay, so for my new individuals here, new faces here, when we have, I keep wanting to say trines. When we have squares, they're not very comfy. And let me kind of explain the energetic tone of a square for those of you who are joining me for the first time. For those of you who have been here, you already know how I explain squares. It's been the best way I can kind of come up with. So squares being 90-degree angles, they create tension. I like to think of it as the sort of tectonic plates, like pressing up against each other. And when that tension forms, something happens, right? There's volcanic eruptions, there's earthquakes, tsunamis, right? Things happen as a result of this tension. So it's two forces pushing up against each other to bring something to the surface, ultimately. CD, I don't know. I haven't actually looked into that. That's a great question. Definitely join my Discord community. I'll answer that in there and do some research if you're not in there yet. So with Venus in Aries and Jupiter in Cancer, this is a very interesting square. And I know AstroSeek is down for the count right now, guys. Bless. Luna, I believe you have to pay for, though. So I pay a monthly subscription for it. So, yeah. Anyways, Venus in Aries is really an interesting texture because Venus she doesn't like being in Aries. I talked about this when she moved into Aries. And so that discomfort is kind of that, like, I gotta be a hyper independent baddie sort of energy in Aries, where she's kind of like boss babe energy. Like, I've got my own back. I can do everything on my own. And then Jupiter in Cancer is like, but what about like the places that make you feel safe? What about your comfort? Like, what about the nourishment of your heart, of the things that bring you comfort? And this tension, this square really feels like a sort of battling of like really figuring out what makes you feel safe. That's what Jupiter in Cancer has had us exploring since Jupiter's retrograde, which was November 11th. Jupiter just went direct last week. So there's kind of this interesting like standstill energy for this week too, where it's like you're just getting used to and adapting and like acclimating to the energy of like not having to continue to go inwards and figure out what isn't working as far as self-nurturing and self-care, right? And now it's kind of the practical application of that and like inviting things in. But the square to Venus is almost like she's threatened. She feels a little bit threatened by this like newfound safety within self. It feels very fresh. It feels very new. And it's like, can I trust this? Right? Hopefully that's landing how I'm articulating this. Like, it's like, can I trust that I'm safe? Can I trust that I like, because the thing about Cancer energy is it's very self-protective around its own emotional process, but Jupiter being here is really asking us to expand those processes and expand and let our love overflow. So with this square, Venus is just like, I think it's just safe if I do everything on my own. And Jupiter in Cancer is like, no. Safety is not like a independent thing. Right? It's like you actually have things in your reality present that like you've been like looking at and observing, and now it's sort of like the application. So this square is really pushing us to just see what comes up, and it's going to be really revealing around what actually still isn't working. Like if there's any old processes that are coming up for you that still feel like this isn't serving me anymore, those are going to be pushed up to the surface. And also even I feel like some confrontation around where you're still being hyper independent in some spots and where you're maybe still over giving, right? And Venus in Aries is going to like course correct that in a good way. So it really is like a balancing sort of energy that's coming up here, which I think is really freaking cool, to be honest. I love it. Now, I'm going to pause. I see some people popping into the live. Thanks for the follow, Moon Traveler. I appreciate it. And again, thank you everybody for liking and sharing the live. It is the best way you guys can help me get my content out. Maybe other people that you know might enjoy it as well. So thank you. And if you haven't been here since the start, I re-upload this whole live stream to YouTube, so you can catch the recap after this live, and I will write it out. No, I will be writing out my newsletter after this. Why sad? Why sad? I'm gonna take a drink. Anybody have any questions so far? Thank you. I appreciate that, Sunny. Y'all have been so sweet with the gifts. I really, really appreciate it. Would making moon water be ideal? Will it make the process clearer? If you believe it to be true, then it is true for you. Magic is ultimately based off of your own perception. So if you feel the call to create moon water and you feel that it's going to be supportive for you, then absolutely trust your instinct with that. How much for a reading? All of my prices are listed on my website. I don't do live readings here on TikTok because I get really deep, really intimate, and very personal. And it's a very vulnerable reading. So if you're interested, all of that is linked in my bio. Great questions. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Yeah. When it comes to your own personal practice, ultimately, when you feel that inkling, that's exactly what the North Node is teaching you to right now, is like, trust yourself, trust yourself, trust spirit, trust yourself. Okay. Spirit is you, by the way. Okay. Anyways, let's talk about this new moon that's happening, you guys. New moon in Pisces also happening at this time too. So very interesting day. We've got a lot kind of coming up, which it feels really good because this new moon feels really supportive of nurturing this process that's coming up between this square between Jupiter and Venus, because this is like the final degree of Pisces. 28 degrees is close to the final degree, which would be 29. And it's really closing out a chapter in this Piscean story in such a beautiful way and preparing us to embark into this newer energy. I'm like, I don't even remember filming my new moon video. Like, it really feels like, what did I even talk about? I'm like, I don't even remember the rulership of some of the things. Like, I filmed it, I don't know, that's how time has been for me, you guys. Like, I just work here. Okay. Yep. It's ruled by the 10 of Cups. And, oh God, this new moon. 10 of Cups ruled by Mars in Pisces. Okay, guys, just to give you the TLDR of this new moon, it really is like, will you let yourself have your wish fulfillment? 10 of Cups, that's literally joy, happiness, happy family, happy life. And with Mars and Pisces, it's ruled by Mars and Pisces, which really is asking us to like have the emotional discipline to actually let this reality come into fruition. And that sounds a little bit weird because Mars is really uncomfortable in Pisces because of the fact that it is not a physical terrain that Mars is battling on. It's a spiritual terrain. It is like, it is the spiritual warfare. So you're basically battling your own emotional resistance to your own wish fulfillment, and or the opposite, where you have been devoted to the spiritual practices to allow yourself to be open and ready to receive and plant new seeds for the deeper desires that you have. Oh, my kitty cat, him's outside. Theo. Oh my gosh, I love my cats so much, guys. I'm a cat girl. It's been funny. Sometimes it moves slowly. Yeah, it's been so interesting. Like, for those of you who know the content I create over here on this TikTok, people ask me like, what did you mean by this video? I'm like, I don't know. I was channeling. I just work here. I don't remember half the readings I do. So being a mystic is a really interesting experience. Oh God, I'm getting so hot. Hey, I've seen a lot of your videos. They're so intentional and genuine and authentic as fuck. That's literally my goal in everything I do. I want to bring authenticity to this whole like content creator world. And my people who are hanging out over on Twitch, they know this spiel. A lot of those people are already in my Discord community. I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl with a passion for something, and I'm following my dreams. So yeah. Oh, I was like, don't get stuck on my piercing. That's like the worst. If anybody has like a septum. Oh my gosh, wait, Butch Lesbian Vampire. I saw your name pop up and I was like, I love whomever you are. I'm like, your username made me cackle the other day. I was like, let's fucking go. You know yourself, and I love it. And I just love it. So I'm glad I got to tell you live. Back to our regularly programmed schedule, aka talking about the transits here. This new moon, just to kind of wrap it up, it really is like allowing you to plant the vision for your greater happiness, ultimately. Like, I know that sounds so fucking cliche, and you guys know me, you know my content. It's why I go by 8th house Mercury. I'm not going to tell you bullshit. Like, when I was looking at this new moon, even myself was like, oh, you mean we can actually have everything we desire? If we like set the intention and continue to take steps towards our joy, we could actually have what we want. That's this new moon. And I'm like, okay, cool. And that's where I feel this Venus square is very interesting, with Venus squaring Jupiter here, where it's kind of like this tension around like, do I deserve it? Can I have it? Am I allowed to? Is that okay? Can we? Maybe? It feels really like questioning of it. Now, there's one other aspect happening on the 20th and again, or 18th. This is March 18th. There's a sextile happening from this new moon to Uranus over here in Taurus. Let me kind of clear that out so we can have a clear line of what's going down. So with that being said, like this sextile to Uranus is so yummy, guys. It is so yummy because Uranus and Taurus has been really teaching us about how we relate to our worth, how we relate to our value. What do we value? What do we really want to cultivate in this life? And Taurus is more like physical, like reality. So that could be like money, assets, how you relate to your body, how you relate to like food, all the Taurus things. And so this sextile is really like your reality is supporting of these dreams. So don't let your dreams be dreams. You heard it here first, guys, from Izzy. Like, don't let your freaking dreams be dreams. Like, don't let this Venus squaring Jupiter stand in your way of actually allowing yourself to have, but it's not even standing in your way. I want to preface that to you guys as well. It's not standing in your way because of the fact that Venus squaring Jupiter is just revealing to you your last sort of resistances to actually allowing yourself to receive things. So, yeah. Nice. It's a really dreamy new moon. I'm here for it. It feels really delicious and very nurturing if we allow ourselves to witness, yet again, reiterating what I was saying at the start of the stream, witness everything that's coming up and not judging ourselves for having resistances to receiving what we want or resisting that sort of inner calling within us. And again, new moons are all about setting intentions. And so it really is like, let yourself dream, let yourself have your dreams, and then take tangible fucking action on your dreams. Yay. I'm just going to read this out loud because I love like naming it to the audience who might be watching the recap. Name said, it's scary how accurate your interpretations are resonant to my own inner experiences. Like how I call in my audience. I just trust that the right people will flock to me. And it's one of those things where, you know, I always like to tell people, the reason you feel called to do certain things is because there's people that are ready to receive how you do things. So if you are all feeling a call to create or do something, you should do it because there's an equal and opposite of that. That's how our universe works. So create the damn fucking thing before somebody else chooses to capitalize on that collective dream. So I hope I just pushed you guys out of the nest with me saying that. So that's enough about the 18th. Let's keep going. Guys, it's crunch time. We gotta go fast. Nothing happening on the 19th. And hi, Jacob, welcome. On the 20th is the Astrological New Year. Yet again, for those of you who are joining for the first time, I will be hosting an event. You can RSVP through the link in my bio. There are limited spots for that. It is a celebration of the Astrological New Year. We're going to really ground into that new moon energy that's sort of ebbing away at this time, setting intentions. Going to do a guided vision journey for you guys to connect to your guides and really ground into those visions, and additionally give you guys some insight on the astrological transits that are coming up for this new year. So just a little plug for myself there, because if I don't tell you guys what I'm doing, you're not going to know. So I have to tell you. Oh, wow. A Silence Day. That's super interesting. Okay, so first off, the sun enters Aries. That means the sun is at 0 degrees of Aries. It's basically the birth point. It is the start of spring officially. Okay, so there's already just a shift in energy. Aries is a cardinal fire sign. It is the spark of inspiration, the spark of new. I like to explain Aries as the experience of just like being something, right? It's the identity before we move into Taurus, which is all about the body, of like inhabiting a body. So it really is the I am statement. Like I I am. And so really the sun is our core identity. It's our egoic expression. When the sun moves into Aries, it's going to be highlighting a new part of your natal chart. So definitely, the link always crashes. So my website is, that's caps lock. Just type that into your browser. I know it crashes. You can click the 3 dots in the top right-hand corner and press open an external browser. That is always chef's kiss when you guys are looking at websites too, by the way. Also, links dot. This one might be better, by the way. For you, Playful Poised Rose. Oh, that is a tongue twister, sweet friend. Because that just shows my direct links. It's a little bit easier to navigate. So anyways, jumping back into talking about the sun moving into Aries, I love this energy, and I love the transit that the sun is going to move through following on the coattails of Venus having already moved into Aries. So the sun is going through a whole soul egoic upgrade, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit when we talk about Sunday. But just to describe Aries energy, it's direct, pure, it's pure energy. It's source unfiltered by anything. It is akin to the cry of a child exiting the womb. It is the purest form of everything. That's Aries. That is Aries. And that self-expression that comes with Aries is just unfiltered, raw, primal, just source and energy at its purest form. So that sort of expression energy can be also seen in the other light where it's a little bit more naive, a little bit more like hidden, right? Aries rising, Aries moon. Amber, is your moon in the 12th house or the 1st house? That's going to be very telling. Yeah, so I'm excited for Aries season. I am a spring girly. My birthday's in spring, so I really just love when spring is here and it's time to like, ooh, 12th house. Oh, bless. 12th house placements are always very interesting to try to understand. So you got an interesting moon cocktail going there for you. So again, that is, oh man, this week is so interesting. Oh my gosh, I love it. I can't wait to write a little bit more in depth about it on my newsletter. Like I really want to sit with the words and share with you guys, because again, I'm pointing out the fact that literally Mercury is just hanging out on the South Node. And as you can see, on March 20th, Mercury stations direct. Okay? Fuck yeah. Funk yeah. That's how I'm feeling about it. I'm freaking stoked. So Mercury stations direct, but Mercury's been hanging out on the North Node this whole time, since Tuesday, and it's probably going to be here for a couple more days too. We'll take a peek at that. Thank you for sharing the live, Amber. I appreciate it, guys. So Mercury stations direct. Now, doesn't mean we're in the clear yet, guys. Mercury has its post-retrograde shadow, which means Mercury now has to go through the trajectory of moving up the hill again. And that's kind of the analogy I talk about Mercury retrograde as, because it's as though Mercury, climbs up this hill and then goes, shit, I need to like backtrack because maybe there's more to learn. So Mercury treks down the hill again. And the thing is, it shifts your perspective and you're able to see the climb up from a different lens. It's more introspective. You've been up the path, but you haven't seen it from this way. So Mercury hikes down, gets to a stop, and then stations direct and hikes up again. So there's double knowledge kind of coming through and sort of information landing. And it's sort of the integration process of what came up during this retrograde cycle. So thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. So this is going to be that moment of like mental clarity, not full clarity, but it's like, I'm ready to integrate this process of everything that's happened. For a lot of people, Mercury retrograde in Pisces has brought up a lot of like, I just heard cognitive dissonance. Interesting. So that might land, for some of you. Let me grab this for you. I'm clicking so much stuff. the link might be expired, but if you're doing it through the website, I might need to update it on my website. So thank you for testing my website for me. I'm just one girl. I never get it perfect. Again, also Mercury's retrograde. But it's just, .gg or whatever. It's just /HOCM, House of Celestial Magic. Yippee. Okay, cool. Let's see. Cool. Okay. Yeah. No, it's like I can try to test everything all I can, but sometimes I miss stuff. So I do appreciate when people do tell me. Always tell me if there's errors happening because I want to fix them. It's a team of one. I am my CEO. I am the CFO. I'm the content creator. I'm all of it. So anyways, jumping back into talking about Mercury stationing direct, it's going to be this integration period. For a lot of people, I feel like Mercury retrograde has had them really tuning into their understanding why they've had deeper fantasies around things, why the Delulu energy, as people will say on TikTok, it's kind of like softening into the underbelly of your unconscious, and it might not make sense. It's definitely not been linear, but it has brought up a lot of insight for sure. So I'm really excited for this, and the fact that it's happening as the sun moves into Aries, it's kind of like this click into place, which feels so awesome. Okay, now let's go ahead and jump forward talking about the 21st, which is Saturday. Mars is going to be trining Jupiter, which is really, really yummy as well. So Mars in Pisces, Jupiter in Pisces. This is just very supportive action towards actually filling your own cup and letting it overflow, letting it pour out of you. Again, I keep seeing Jupiter in Cancer as this sort of chalice. It's almost Ace of Cups energy, to be honest. It feels like this overflowing cup of like love from source, and now it's pouring out of you as you've moved through the retrograde and like allowed love to be a part of your devotional act. And then Mars in Pisces, again, spiritual warrior, really emotional discipline, but also like trusting instinct over action, like the action of meditation being more powerful than physically, tangibly taking action in the real world right now. So this really feels like a deepening of like supportive energy around your emotional hygiene, around your devoted practices to connecting with your spirit guides, your spirit team, whatever that looks like for you. Of course, I'm just using these terms in a general, broad sense. You take an ad lib however you need to based off of your own beliefs. I'm never here to subscribe anybody to anything. I always like to preface that as well. Oh my gosh, speaking about Mars joined the chat. Let's go. Mars, tell us about being in Pisces right now. No, I'm totally kidding. But this Mars in Pisces trining Jupiter is like this expansion. It almost, I love Jupiter in Cancer right now because it really feels like these emotional expansion packs that are happening right now. And it really feels like this broadening around like, oh, like I've been noticing a lot, and definitely correct me if you have a different experience with Mars and Pisces, but based off of the conversations I've been having with the members in my community, it's been very much like reconnecting to the inner masculine in a way that's like deeply emotionally supportive, where it's not this sort of like rah, like have to push, have to force. It's been very much like this emotional sovereignty that feels very rooted in like everything. It's so cool. And so this trine to Jupiter just feels like an expansion of that. It feels like this like, oh, wait. And I'm getting chills as I'm talking about this, which is always a confirmation for me with my abilities. And it just feels like there's more room available for healthy masculinity. And I am a big advocate for men in general. I love men, and I really feel I have witnessed in my personal life a lot of men grow and integrate their inner feminine and tap into their emotions. And with Mars and Pisces right now, it's just really this deep permission slip right now of like being in touch with your emotions and actually letting it be a powerful movement and a powerful statement. It's not even movement. It's just a statement of peace. It's been really, really beautiful. And like on that emotional terrain and the expansion support by Jupiter, it really just feels like this is opening us up more for being more available to, healthy reading. Yes, you gave me a reading that I needed. to do this just a month ago, and I've been feeling the shift. Ariel, yay. And that's why I love what I do. I'm getting chills. Like I got chicken skin. That's what they say in Hawaii. Is chicken skin instead of goosebumps. It's so funny. Welcome, Harry. Hi, friends. For those of you who are just joining for the first time, I go live every Sunday at 2 p.m. to talk about the astro forecast. If you didn't catch all of this, we've been live for almost an hour now. I'm going to be re-uploading it to YouTube and also my newsletter. I write it out. Yeah, no, thank you, Ariel. I really appreciate the feedback. And I'm just a girl, and it's always nice hearing feedback. We're all in goosebump mode. We're all having goosebumps together. Let's go. I always collect feedback from people because I have my moments where I'm like, why the frick am I doing this? And then I get reminded, I'm like, oh yeah, because like I love doing this work, and I know it makes a difference because people have told me it's made a difference for them. So thank you. Little finger claps. Okay, so let's jump into Sunday, the 21st. I just flashbanged everybody. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Is everybody awake? On TikTok, it looks a lot worse. My face looks like bright red right now. Wake up, everybody. On the 21st, let's go ahead and skip. Oh, I already did. Go back. Now this is the start of something really exciting. The sun is now moving through a similar brother. Why is it? Why? Oh, I love being humbled. By little technology errors. That's what Mercury has been doing for me. I've had so many grammatical errors in my emails and my newsletter, so many errors, and I'm just like, I love being humbled. I'm here for it. And now my ears are ringing. So for those of you who haven't been joining my live streams or caught up with my newsletters, it's totally fine. But Venus went through this whole trajectory of moving into Aries, and she had to go past Neptune and Saturn. Now the sun is moving through a very similar trajectory. So the sun is going to be conjunct to Neptune on Sunday, the 21st, which, no, it's the 22nd. My bad. This is wait, a damn minute. Hold up. I guess it's like early in the morning, I think. Guys, you're witnessing my Virgo brain. Yeah. Do you see that? When you change the time of day, it changes the whole chart. By the way, guys, my inner teacher coming out. I love errors. Yeah, it tells the person didn't use AI. Yeah, it feels more... I know. I've just been like, well, shit. I'm fine with it too. Like... You know what's crazy? Just a little sidebar before we talk about this transit is back when I worked a more corporate job myself, and one of my coworkers, he and I are both autistic. And when people started using AI so much, we were like, this is crazy. This was about like 3 years ago, I think, 3 years ago. And we're like, this is wild. And so we were like reading through AI stuff, and we're like, this is crazy. This like verbatim sounds like how we write. And we wrote out some stuff for fun and threw it into a AI detector, and it literally was like 100% AI. And I really get frustrated because myself, as a Aquarius moon autistic woman, I'm like, I just write like AI. Like I've just always been very like clear with my language that people are like, meh. And I'm like, I'm the human embodiment of artificial intelligence. It's been a very interesting thing for me. So anyways, jumping back to talking about the transit, we're looking at March 22nd, earlier in the morning on that Sunday. The sun is going to be conjunct Neptune. Now, this is really interesting energy, you guys, because of the fact that, let me give you some layers to this, because there's always going to be layers with astrology. Neptune is at home in Pisces, the previous sign, the last sign, and is in Aries. Okay, so it really brings this interesting Piscean energy to the first degree of Aries, which has been coming through in my interpretation of astrology as this sort of brand new energy around love, right? Because Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. It's unconditional love. And at the first degree of Aries, it's like unconditional self-love as a devotion to the collective. It's fucking amazing. Like, the deeper that you love yourself, the deeper that you prioritize yourself first, the better the world is. So permission slip for everybody around self-love. Get on it, get with it, do the work, love yourself. And so with the sun being conjunct Neptune in Aries at the first degree, the sun is going through this upgrade versus, the sun just being in Aries in general. Conjunct Neptune here, it's like this massive heart expansion. I'm seeing like the Sailor Moon transition right now where her heart's just like, the bow comes out, and I'm getting full body chills. It's like this whole like transformation like into your Sailor Scout persona. If you know, Sailor Moon was my origin story to get into astrology as a kid. That's where this passion came from, by the way. A little fun fact about Izzy here. So this is, I just love this energy, and I love this energy so much. And just a little heads up for the following week after this, the sun will be conjunct Saturn, and it's going to build a solid foundation to actually grow this devotion of self-love on. It's like Saturn comes in and says, hey, that's awesome. Let's create a foundation to sustain that energy. Okay. Oh my gosh, Ariel, let's go. That's literally that. My inner child is about to like cry right now. That means so much to me. Thank you. I am crying. Like, I genuinely, with everything that I do here, like, little Izzy would be like, you are so fucking cool. And that's all I do this for, is like my inner child. Hi, young Skywalker. I don't do live readings, but if you're interested in a personal reading, all of my readings are linked in my bio. I will never read a natal chart live because I dive deep into your soul, into your psyche, and it can be really vulnerable. And I have like spiritual HIPAA codes where I'm like, I'm not going to do that publicly. I'm going to leave the floor open for questions after we finish talking about those transits. So, almost addictive. If you hold on to that question for the end, I would love to chat with you about that for sure. Okay. So just to wrap up this energy, cause I know, it's just the requirements have changed. Shoot me a DM of your username. Okay. And I will add you manually. Okay. So please. Yay, Ariel, healing my inner child with your reading since I've joined your collective. Yes, I'm doing the work. Yay. So yeah, wrapping up this energy, it really is just this heart expansion and like soul egoic expression expansion. Like, I really love all of this energy and how it's moving through. And the fact that Mars is going to go through this, Mercury is going to move through this. Like, it really is like this a whole new energy that we're stepping into, you guys. And this, from now until like, what is it? I have to look at my giant calendar on the wall. Yeah, April 14th, when Mercury moves into Aries, like, actually the new moon in Aries is going to be so delicious on the 17th. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for that, guys. I can't wait to host a gathering for that. Divine Alchemist, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it, you guys. And again, thank you everybody for hanging out here. I'm also going to say hi on my Astrology account. This is where I post like daily updates. For those of you who are hanging out on TikTok, I stream on this account because there's a bigger following over here, and I totally get it. But the Astrology account's where I kind of post updates. So you guys are aware, so you guys can follow over there. I post fun aesthetic stuff, so you just have little touch points. Yeah, I think I feel good. I feel complete about the upcoming transit. So just to recap, we were talking about the week of, let me sort of shift directions here, jumping back to just my face. So just to recap yet again for you guys, we were talking about the week of March 16th to March 22nd. On Tuesday, Mercury's conjunct the North Node, and it's going to be hanging out there all week, guys. On Wednesday, the 18th, Venus is squaring Jupiter, the Sun is sextile Uranus, and the new moon is happening in Pisces on that day too. On Friday, the 20th, the Sun enters Aries, and Mercury stations direct. And Saturday, the 21st, Mars is trine Jupiter, and Sunday, the 22nd, the Sun is conjunct Neptune.